and the inner loop runs again, and put 2 to J. Remember, outer loop is still paused. And now the outer loop runs the second time, and put 1 to I. And then pause, and the inner loop started running again. And it's going to run 3 times before the outer loop can run again. Pay attention, you will see how it works. So whenever the outer loop runs, it waits for the inner loop to finish, and then the outer loop can run again, then wait for the inner loop to finish again. So each time the outer loop runs, the inner loop will run 3 times, and then the outer loop will run once again, then the inner loop will run 3 times, then the outer loop will run once again and pause, and then the inner loop will run 3 times. You can see, just pay attention to the message that says paused, running, yeah, that is how the nested loop runs. I have one more example that I want to show you. This is another example. You see here, when the loop runs, you can look at the grid here. The J is for the columns, and the I is for the rows. So anything in the row is for the I variable, which is the outer loop, and anything in the J is for the inner loop. You can see on the grid, and you can also see how what is saying the outer loop is now 0, printing the pair I equal to. Let me run again so that you can see. The first one, just pay attention on how it's running. The inner loop running after the outer loop has run and paused. It's going to run 3 times. You can see the inner loop is still running. It's going to run the 3rd time. And then right now it's going to pause, and then the outer loop will run once more, and then pause. Then the inner loop will start running again for 3 times. So the inner loop runs the first time. You're going to run the 2nd time again. It's going to run the 3rd time. Then the inner loop will pause, and then the outer loop will run once again. And get 2. And then the inner loop will run 3 times again. So each time anytime the outer loop runs, it will run once, then it's going to pause and wait for the inner loop to run 3 times. And then after the inner loop has run 3 times, then it's going to pause again and wait for the outer loop to run once again. And then after running once, it's going to pause, and then the inner loop will continue from there. Okay, so let's run the other one again so that you can see us again. Now the outer loop runs, the inner loop runs, and then you can check the text that is here that is telling you when this one is running, when this one is running, and then you can check on the grid the output here that correspond with the grades, and then you will see how it works. Yeah, you can see. So each time the outer loop runs, it's going to wait for the inner loop to run times 3. Depending on your argument, here we pass 3, 3. That means it's going to run 3 times. And that means the outer loop will run 3 times and the inner loop will run 9 times. Okay, that's basically how it works. So let me show you something here. Okay, nested loop 3.py. So let me go to this nested loop 3 and show you the code example again. Okay, so here I can say for I in, let me zoom in. For I in range, I can pass 3 here. And I can say again for J in range, I can pass 3 again here. And then I can just, let me just print only this one. I can just have I here and J. Okay, so let's run the nested loop 3. Is that, yeah. Okay, Python 3, nested loop 3.py. You can see the result here. The same thing we are getting. Remember the first time it's 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, then you start again, 1, 0. Okay, look at what we're getting here. Let me run the code again, the other one, so that you can see. Or let's use the other example. Yeah. Now let's look at what is going to show us here. 0, 0. So now the inner loop is still running, 0, 1. The inner loop runs. The third time